Hi, everybody. This is Silvio Canto in Dallas, Texas on Sunday, December the 9th, and welcome to our video commentary. Well, they had quite a weekend in Paris, France, actually in the whole country. Over 1,000 people have been arrested. If you watch the videos, I mean, they speak for themselves. Pretty violent, very violent videos. Lots of stuff going on in France. Now, all of this got started, as you know, because they raised some taxes on people who are already overtaxed and overregulated, and the response was fairly quick and fairly immediate. Now, if you want to get a little bit more context in all of this, we did a show on Saturday. It's in the archives. The podcast is in the archives, either Twitter or my blog, or if you see this on YouTube or Facebook. The podcast is right there. Just stroll down a few samples and you'll be able to see it. We did a show with Rosine and Michael. Both of them are very much aware of what's happening in Europe. Rosine herself is from France, had just visited France not long ago. Of course, all of this stemmed from this tax increase on gasoline. And, as I said before, France is already overtaxed and overregulated. And as Rosine herself mentioned on the air, the people are just fed up with it. I mean, you're basically working to pay taxes. I mean, that's what it comes down to. You're working to pay taxes. And people don't see anything back. I mean, they look around and they don't see a pretty good investment, if you will, on all those taxes that they are paying. I think the big question now is, what happens to President Macron? Does he stay in power? Is he forced to resign? Now, I'm not familiar with French politics enough to know if they have a tradition of presidents resigning, or do the presidents stick around. I know it's not a parliamentary system like some of the others where you can have a vote of confidence. They don't have that, to my knowledge. But anyway, the question is, what happens to Macron? And if he stays, can this guy govern? I mean, when you're down to 18% approval, 18, 20, 23%, whatever poll you want to look at, I mean, that's a pretty bad situation. 4 out of 5 people don't approve of the job that you're doing. The basic problem with France and many of these other European countries is there's no job creation. They have an economic system that punishes people who work. It punishes people who create jobs because the tax structure is outrageous. And, they're just not creating enough jobs. I mean, that's what their basic problem. Now, they also have, in many of these countries, a terrible migration problem where you have, people coming into the country who don't want to adjust, who don't want to integrate themselves into the country. That's, of course, is a serious problem, too. But the economic problem, I think, is the profound one in France. I mean, they have tax rates that are punishing people. If you're a producer in France, you're working for the government. You're not working for yourself or your family or your employee. You're just basically working for the government. And I think that that's what a lot of this reaction is all about. Now, we understand that President Macron is supposed to speak on Monday. Because of the time difference, that probably means you'll speak early in the morning here or midday or so here, depending on where he speaks. But I think this man's future is hanging right now in the balance. We don't know what's going to happen to him. And it's amazing how quickly he has fallen. A year and a half ago, he was the darling of Europe. He was going to be the Obama of Europe. And here he is now struggling to stay in power. Very amazing situation happening in France over the last couple of days. Well, thank you for watching. We have all of these on YouTube. We have them on my blog, and we have them on Twitter. And if December the 9th is your birthday, happy birthday. Bye-bye, everybody.